Hey guys, welcome back to another PDF battle. Today I'm going to be commentating over Slim Kali, owner of the OKC Thundurus, going against Mega Gladiator, owner of the Undella Underdogs. So as you can see, their full teams are on the side. Again, I did not get information on the sixth team for the Underdogs, so unfortunately I don't know what his sixth Pokemon was. However, the OKC Thundurus has brought Liepard, Thundurus Therian, Gyarados, Volcarona, Braviary, and Zapdos. And going up against them is the Undella Underdogs, who have brought Suicune, Golbat, Metagross, Uxie, and Gardevoir. So looking right into these teams, obviously Slim's very weak to rock. You've got 5 things that do not want to take a rock slide. And let's be real, Liepard really does not want to take an attack in general. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, again, the Underdogs are actually pretty bulky. Almost everything on his team can take a hit or two. Sans the Gardevoir. Gardevoir can take some hits, but not all of them. But it's again another battle of offense versus defense, and we're gonna have to see how both of these two decide to play the games. Now, I know the results, and actually I don't know it offhand, of course, but I do know the results. So the Underdogs are going to be starting off with Metagross and Uxie, and we're going to see the Thundurus start off with Thundurus and Liepard. So now Liepard has Fake Out, has Taunt, has Foul Play, all those kinds of things. So what we're going to see is a first turn Fake Out, pretty obvious, and then a first turn Thunderbolt onto the Uxie, looking to get rid of that Uxie because who knows what that Uxie will do. But it doesn't look like it's going to be doing anything crazy. Now we do see the Metagross bring out a Hammer Arm, and is that going to be enough? That is going to be enough. So it looks like that Liepard is not running Focus Sash. Now I think with the hammer Arm dropping the speed, we can kind of assume that Uxie might be running Trick Room. There's no way for us to know that. Now the Gyarados does come in to get an Intimidate off, but unfortunately the Metagross's Clear Body prevents it from happening. Now we're going to see a Mega Evolve happen on the Gyarados, so it's now going to pick up that Dark typing. And since his team doesn't really have any other obvious Megas, maybe we'll see a prediction here on a Hammer Arm onto the Gyarados. Now the Thunderbolt does come off onto the Uxie, taking it out, so now it's 3v3. And if this Metagross predicts... No, the Metagross does not predict... Well, actually, the Metagross... Oh, okay, my bad. Hold on. That's not Metagross, that's Gyarados. Gyarados does go for the Earthquake, but we're going to see a Zen Headbutt come off on the Metagross towards the Thundurus. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. But it's actually a very positive turn for the Thundurus. Now we're going to see Golbat come back in. Not come back, but come in to begin with. Metagross is going to try and finish off that Thundurus with a Bullet Punch, and is going to get it off, but it also leaves him open up to another Earthquake, which the Thundurus will take advantage of. So that's a little unfortunate. The Metagross will go down, and it's not a good trade for the Underdogs. They're down 2 Pokemon, and while the Thunduruses are down 2 Pokemon as well, Metagross was really the strongest team member on the Underdogs. Gardevoir can hit hard, but as you can see here, he actually only brought Suicune. So we're going to see a Rage Powder come off onto the Volcarona, and a Dragon Dance come off the Gyarados, so that's going to be a very powerful Gyarados. I'm quite curious as to how the Underdogs are going to come back from this. Golbat does go for the U-turn, but not onto the Gyarados, obviously because there's a Rage Powder. But we are going to see a Scald go off onto the Volcarona as well. Now that does a decent amount of damage, and another one will take out the Volcarona. So that's going to be good to know. Now the +1 Gyarados is going to Ice Fang the Golbat, and we can assume that that Golbat's running Eviolite, so it's not going to kill it. But it does... Oh, wow! Not only does it freeze him first turn, but it de-thaws first turn as well. Now we get a Taunt off onto the Volcarona. I can only imagine to prevent any more Rage Powders coming out. But unfortunately, he did not go for Rage Powder. He actually dropped the special attack with Struggle Bug, something that you don't see very often. And it doesn't actually go down to the Scald, so this is actually very interesting. I don't see a way the Underdogs can get out of this situation. We have a +1 Gyarados that can and will kill the Golbat, but it won't, actually. He goes for the Earthquake, which is going to kill his Volcarona, and it's definitely not going to kill the Suicune. So that was a very interesting play. And that actually allows the Underdogs to get a Roost up on the Golbat, and this might mean that he can survive another Ice Fang. So the Suicune's going to go for Icy Wind to drop the speed on the Gyarados, negate that +1 it has. Is it going to really affect the speed? No, I don't think so. I think Gyarados is still going to be faster than both the Suicune and the Golbat, and I am indeed correct. Now he goes for Waterfall. I don't think this will kill either. No, it won't, but he does get a flinch. It's very unfortunate. Now Suicune's kind of stuck into going for Skulls because unfortunately Suicunes don't really have anything to hit Gyaradoses, but he gets really lucky and nabs a burn. Truth be told, judging by the damage we've already saw on the Gyarados, it could have been, it was almost imminent because he's just going to be spamming those Scald anyway, regardless. And I don't think the Gyarados had any answer to that. His Waterfall's not going to do very much. His Ice Fang's not going to do very much. And we saw the Earthquake wasn't going to do very much. But he can still kind of maybe come back from here. I don't think so, actually. No, definitely not. Another Scald plus Burn will be enough to take out this Gyarados. So that, I'm gonna jump the gun here, and I'm gonna say this win is towards the Underdogs. And it is indeed. Slim seems to have forfeited. So the first round goes to the Undella Bay Underdogs. I guess there goes their name for being the Underdogs since they won. So next up is the OKC Underdogs, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to win, and if they do, we're going to have to go into Game 3. And, you know, it's going to be very interesting because, as we saw, he is very weak to Rock types, and Metagross can have Rock Slide. Now, is he going to? I don't know. We'll see what the two opponents decide to bring to the field. And it looks like the Underdogs are going to start off with Metagross and Gardevoir. So, very power-focused start. And we're going to see the Braviary and Zapdos. So, two flying types. Neither of them can really hit either two super effectively. Zapdos does have a Heat Wave, so we might see that come out. Gardevoir is going to Mega Evolve, so we're not going to see a Mega Metagross. Not that he Mega'd last game. We do see a Thunder Wave go off onto the Gardevoir, and that's going to really prevent it from outspeeding anything at this point. And we do see a Tailwind, so it's a complete support turn for the Thundurus, but I think it's going to work pretty well. Now, the Gardevoir does get a little bit hexed and gets paralyzed, but we're going to see a Zen Headbutt come off on the Metagross, and honestly, that did barely anything. It must be a very defensive-heavy Zapdos. So we're going to see a Thunderbolt onto the Gardevoir, and most likely a Brave Bird. I don't see why he'd Brave Bird the Metagross. Yeah, and I'm correct there. So the Gardevoir actually does not survive. I mean, does survive, rather. And that's actually kind of shocking on my part, in my perspective. Now we're going to see a Meteor Mash hit the Braviary. I have no idea what this Metagross is running. Because it's clearly not getting kills, and you'd think it would because it is a Metagross. Metagross is pretty strong. I was going to go for Bullet Punch because he's obviously not going to outspeed anything. And I guess he was hoping for a KO, but unfortunately, since the Meteor Mash didn't do enough damage, he didn't get enough damage to take out the Braviary. So we're going to see a Rock Slide come out, and of course that will kill the Gardevoir. And he took that turn to paralyze the Metagross, I guess going for a little bit more hacks there. But anyone going super slow is just very useful. So now we're going to see the Suicune come in, and it's kind of a bad matchup for him because he's got the Zapdos here. Now, Metagross does get paralyzed again, obviously going for the Bullet Punch. And this Thunderbolt does come off, and it does more than half. So, I'm sorry to say, I think this game is going in favor of the Thundurus. Because there's no way I don't think that this Metagross can come back. Now we are going to see an Icy Wind now. That is super effective against both of them. Might see a KO against the Braviary. And it does. Now it slows down the Zapdos. Which is a very good thing. Sorry, I had to go close my door. But unfortunately the Zapdos does have weakness policies, so this is just such a bad way. Just a clean sweep with the Zapdos. Nothing's going to outspeed it on the remaining of the Underdogs team. There's no way, no how, especially with all the paralysis going around. So this is going to be very interesting. Now the Gyarados does come in, which is actually a very solid choice because we know he's Mega, so we know that he can avoid the Zen Headbutt. Now the Metagross does have Hammer Arm, so it's going to be very interesting to see how he responds to that. Is he going to predict it and go for the Hammer Arm? Is he going to just die to an Earthquake Thunderbolt combo? I don't know. We'll find out. Now the Earthquake does go off, and Metagross is almost dead. Almost, but surely not. Now, the Suicune goes for Scald. Not enough to take out the Zapdos. Zapdos actually goes for Roost. And can we see a prediction off on this Metagross going for that Hammer Arm onto the Gyarados? And we do. Is this going to be enough to kill it? I don't think so, and it isn't. So that's unfortunate. I have no idea what this Metagross is running, but it's clearly not running enough to get KO. So next turn, pretty much, game's over. An Earthquake Thunderbolt is going to be enough. Now, he does go for the Bullet Punch again, but I don't think he gets paralyzed. And I don't think even if he didn't get paralyzed, that would be enough to kill the Gyarados, because unfortunately, the Gyarados is Water type and does resist it. We're going to see an Icy Wind come off. Yeah, I mean, the Gyarados was sitting at 39 HP. I really don't think, especially since that Metagross is not running Band or Life Orb, I don't think it would have been enough. We are going to see the Thunderbolt come off, and that should be enough to take out the Suicune, and Game 2 goes to the OKC Thundurus. I think that's Oklahoma City, if I remember correctly. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's still a Golbat on the field. Full HP, but let's be real here. Gyarados is actually going to go down here. Yeah, wow, okay. So Gyarados goes down, but Thunderbolt from Zapdos should be more than enough to take this out. Well, maybe not. It might be Eviolite. Oh, but remember the Zapdos is at +2, so that is more than enough, even though the Golbat's at +1 defense. So that's Game 2 going to the Oklahoma City Thundurus. I hope that's right. I never asked. I hope that's right, though. So we're going to go into Game 3, and whoever wins this game wins the set. So, I mean, if this was a real sports league, a lot would be riding on that. But in reality, this is just a video game, and people are playing for fun. So nothing's really riding on it other than some glory and some bragging rights. So, oh no, I typed in the wrong battle video. Oh no. Okay, we're going to try that again. But yeah, so nothing to be overly concerned about. But either way, always worth to fight it to the end. So going into Game 3, what are these two? Are they going to bring the same strategies? Are they going to try something different? Are they going to do what worked before? There's only one answer, and that is to watch. So it looks like the Underdogs are going to start off with Metagross and Uxie. This is a return to when he won the first game. And then the Thundurus are going to bring out Zapdos and Volcarona. So it looks like they're trying out something a little tad bit different. We're going to see a knockoff onto the Zapdos, getting rid of the weakness policy so it doesn't trigger it any further. And again, another Thunder Wave. This time starting straight onto the Metagross. Now, Metagross versus Volcarona is actually a really scary thing, and I'm assuming this might be Assault Vest Metagross, simply because he figured he could save. And that was a crit, so I think it's safe to assume that I'm correct there. Because he decided to stay in. Now, he's going for Bullet Punch again, because obviously he outsped. But regardless of being paralyzed, it would have been very minimal damage on both Pokemon, even through a crit. So, I don't know how much I can say about that. Now, we saw a Light Screen go up on their side. Heat Wave's going to go off. I don't know if Metagross can survive this. I doubt it, even with the +2 that I got from the Light Screen and the Assault Vest. I'm assuming it's Assault Vest. There's no way a Metagross would stay in on a Volcarona if it wasn't Assault Vest and confident that it can stay. So in comes Gardevoir, who is going to Mega Evolve, and hopefully we can see, does Gardevoir do something? Because so far, he's been paralyzed pretty much every single turn in this entire set. So that's very unfortunate for the Gardevoir. We are going to see another Thunder Wave. And the Volcarona is going to go for the Struggle Bug. Again, a very interesting move, something that you don't see very often, but it's a multiple target move that lowers special attack and is stab for the Volcarona. So, you know what? I think that's very cool. Now, we're actually going to see a Heal Pulse come off onto the Uxie, which is definitely different than what I thought we would see. And we see a knockoff onto the Volcarona, losing its Charty Berry now, if my sources are correct. Charty Berry weakens Rock-type moves. Is that enough for a Volcarona to survive, like a Stab Rock Slide? I kind of doubt it, but hey. So with the Light Screen up, that Heat Wave is really not going to be doing too much. We can see another knockoff onto the Volcarona, and the Gardevoir is actually going to take this turn to Calm Mind. Now the question remains, is now that the Gardevoir is pretty much at +2 special defense, is it going to really be able to do anything? You know, we've got a Volcarona. The Thundurus pretty much have their entire team in the back, so setting up right now might be a little bit risky. Now, the Uxie again gets hit by another Struggle Bug. This time it crits, but it, again, doesn't really do enough damage to really scare that Uxie out. We're going to see another knockoff, and are we going to see a Hyper Voice? No, we're going to see another Calm Mind, trying to basically out-buff the debuff from Volcarona, staying at neutral, but getting no damage off. So what we're going to see is a Sludge Bomb from the Thundurus, and, you know, again, this Gardevoir has Light Screen and 2 Calm Mind, so it's not going to do anything. But he really can't afford to Calm Mind again, because he will go down next turn. Both of his Pokemon will actually go down. So I'm kind of curious to see where he's going to go with this. We're going to see a knockoff onto the Thundurus, and Thundurus is going to lose its Life Orb. And Gardevoir is actually going to go for Draining Kiss, so it's at neutral, remember that. It is at, actually, it might be at negative now. I missed it if it went for Struggle Bug. But basically, that Gardevoir is still alive because of all the defense. And we're going to see another Struggle Bug. So I think it's safe to assume that this Gardevoir is at -2 right now. I don't think it has any more damage on it. I don't think this Gardevoir is going to be able to kill anything. The Uxie, however, doesn't care about the special attack drops because it's running knockoff. And it does get the Volcarona out. And we're gonna see the Gardevoir try and kill the Thundurus with Draining Kiss, but it's not gonna do enough. It's not gonna. It's really just not gonna be close enough. If he had Hyper Voice, it most likely would have killed the Thundurus. We don't know if the Gardevoir has Hyper Voice or not. I'd assume it does. Pardon my dog. So Gyarados is gonna Mega Evolve, and again, you know, Gyarados can pretty much just clean up with an Earthquake killing the Gardevoir, or just a Waterfall if he really wants to. Whatever he wants to do, he can clean. This turn's pretty much over in the favor of the Thunduruses, pretty much. Oh, actually, the Gardevoir survives, believe it or not. But he's just gonna take this opportunity to kill the Gardevoir because he's looking at the Uxie. It has right. Mega Gyarados, my friends, has Mold Breaker. And what does Mold Breaker do? It removes Levitate. So Earthquake was enough to take them both out. Now the Thundurus is going to just Thunderbolt the Suicune, and even though it's lacking its Life Orb right now, it actually just straight up 2-hit KOs the Suicune. So that's pretty much game, and I'm going to say this right now. The game is in favor of the OKC Thundurus. So for the second episode of this series, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any comments, criticism, constructive, anything in the description below. It does look like the Suicune actually got a KO there, which is kind of cool. Which actually means this might go out a little bit longer, and I was wrong. Oh no, but he still's got the Zapdos. No way, no how. I don't think this is going anywhere. I really do think that the Suicune's pretty much gone. Earthquake Thunderbolt should take it out. But yeah, so if you guys have any other suggestions, comments, criticisms, just let me know. I want to make this as good as and enjoyable as I can. I'm trying to make sure I get all the Pokemon options so you guys don't know what teams are happening. And I'm trying to ignore the fact that I can see who brings what in the beginning as fast as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys at the next episode. Peace.